YouTube didn't like me because I talked too much. Schade. So let me start again here. This isn't a new recording, it's going onward, okay? So this is where we were, VHL Central, right? And then we went up here and we saw, the assignment calendar already, right? Okay, but your textbook is over here. It's called VText, all right? And let me move it down and make it big, so you can see it properly. And a little bit bigger. If you're in German 1, you start at 1. If you're in German 2, you start at 5. And it says. So let's just start with chapter 1. And this will apply if you're new in German 2 as well. You want to go lesson 1 or lesson 5, whichever one you're in, and go to the bottom and go to Wortschatz. Okay? And I don't like 2 pages at once. And here is your vocabulary for 1A and vocabulary tools. Look, right there. And 1B. So study 1A first, do 1A, and then when it's time for 1B, you go over here and do that vocab. And it's the craziest thing. Every freaking language book, and believe me, I know a lot of languages, and they all put the vocabulary at the end of the chapter when that's the first thing that you need. So crazy. Anyway, so you study your vocabulary here, and there's some help here, okay? It's a good idea to hover on stuff. That when it's green or blue or whatever this color is, teal, polluted water, I don't know what color that is, but anyway, that color means that I've assigned it as practice, not homework, okay? So it's practice. It doesn't count for anything, but I want you to have the most resources possible. Anyway, let's go over here. So then you're ready to begin on page 1. This is page 2. Why? Go back to page 1. All right, and you'll see what's in lesson 1, and you'll see what's in 1A, and then here's what's in 1B, and then weiter geht's means go further, and we have a few things assigned there as well, and they'll be included in 1B. You don't have to really do much this way because it's all linked in the calendar, but it's handy to see all at once what you're going to do. So let's go next. Well, let me point out here, Strukturen is the grammar. So make sure you master these, okay? And there's 3 per half chapter. All right, now if I go over here and go to the next page, okay? This is actually a presentation over 2 pages, but it's too big for me to look at. It's got a little vocabulary, but not all of it. And then over here you have some sample conversations. If you have a Herr or a Frau, that means it's Mr. or Mrs. or Ms. And that's formal, okay? And if it's first name, that's informal. And Germans will be formal. Like if you were to meet me in the street, I would not just be Mr. Altanero. I would be Herr Professor Dr. Altanero. 3 titles. What? But that's how formal they are. So you must know the difference between the 2. And that is something that's taught in this chapter. Let's go on to the next page. All right. You see this, whatever color that is. This is your homework, not homework, your practice, which I've assigned. And the mouse usually there, okay? This means it's an audio one and you listen. So you can do the practice this way, which I prefer because it follows the progression of the book and gives you the answers or the lesson on the left and the exercises on the right. So if we keep going, you'll see more. And then like this one with a bunch of people here, that means it's a group assignment. I haven't assigned it. See, you can't click on it. This one you can because it's auto-graded. But if you have a buddy in the class or you want to find a buddy, it's not a bad idea. It's actually a great idea to do these anyway, just to practice. Okay, and then next, what comes? Here's an audio. These words will be pronounced for you, and you can try to pronounce them yourself. And these practice things are assigned. Okay, and then next, this is a photoroman, a telenovela in Spanish, or a soap opera, but better than a soap opera. And this is the introduction to it, and then you go up here to the video, and it will play the whole thing for you. And then there's exercises that are assigned. Okay. And then what comes next? More photoroman. Okay, and then we go on, and then there's some readings, cultural readings, which could be on a test as well. And look, this is not assigned. Okay, but you want to read it anyway because there may be questions on the test about it. So basically you're reading a book, okay? And here's your Strukturen, gender, articles, nouns, and there's a grammar tutorial where there's a cartoon which will explain to you how this works, and then you can read it as well. Don't forget to look at the notes on the side, and then it goes through, and then the very first one will be super easy, okay? And it's usually assigned, yeah. Okay, and then next, more are assigned, and they get harder as you go down, okay? And that's your practice. And then these are like group work. If you want, get a buddy in the class and you can do these together. You don't have to, but these I would like you to do. Again, they don't count for anything, so I'm not going to check, but this is your practice, okay? All right, that's 1A, and then here we have now plurals. That's 1A2, and then you're going to have 1A3, okay? And again, easy, harder, harder, harder. All right. And then here's 1A3. This is subject pronouns, the verb sein, and nominative case. And here's the grammar tutorial. Same thing, right? Explanation, easy exercise, more exercises, and even more exercises, not all of them assigned. All right. And then you have a Wiederholung. Wiederholung means, why am I forgetting this? Repetition, review, okay? And then zapping, these are a little hard, but they're fun. These are things taken from German TV for you to try. And believe me, I know it will be very, very difficult at first. But if you don't do it, it's never going to get easier. If you do it, it will get easier over time. All right. And then what? Now we're on 1B, and the whole thing starts over again. So that's how to study. And this, you need to read your book, in other words, okay? Do the practice, and then the homework, you know how to get to that, right? So you just go here, and here's homework. You click on the homework, and it's similar exercises to what you would do in practice, except now they're counted, all right? And then you have a test, okay? Let me show you the test over here. Chapter test. It's not highlighted yet. And why? Because I don't want you to access it yet. It will be available by the time you see this video. And all you have to do is click on it. Okay? Some of you, if you're at, I can't remember which school, I think it's, might be Eastern Florida, but you have to use Honor Lock, and I'm sure you're familiar with that. So you click on the chapter test, and it will open, and you have one, that's why it's not available yet, one chance to do it, okay? So you will get 60 minutes, even though it says 30 there, you'll get 60 minutes to do this test, and you are not allowed to use your notes, your book, or anything but your own brain. Students who cheat are generally withdrawn from the course without refund. So don't go down that road. At all. I don't like it. You don't like it. So just do your best on the chapter test. And they're not that long because, you know, they take 30 minutes and I give you 60. And it covers the stuff in 1A and 1B or 5A, whichever class you're in. And then the next test will be the next chapter. So make sure you know all your stuff, ask questions along the way. And let's just take a look at an assignment. I'm going here, okay? Like here. This is, I love this. If you email me with a question, oh, I didn't understand number 1, jetzt sind sie dran, and number 11, I'll never find it. So what you do is ask your instructor, and then you pick the one that you have a question about, and then you write your, you write your question in there, like, you know, whatever it is, and then submit it, okay? And that's the best way to ask a question about an assignment, okay? If you have other questions, you can, of course, email me. And if it's a complicated question, call me, okay? It's much easier, then we can talk about it, get you on the right track, and all that. So I think that about covers it. You've seen the book. I've warned you about being late, told you how to study. I think that ought to cover it. So yeah.